guys. Okay, I'm just jumping on to talk about magnesium. I get this question so much in the feed. I thought maybe what I would do is just help you guys to understand a little better what magnesium does and what kind to take. That's really the important thing. And I know it's kind of hard to read here, but I wrote down some of the things that magnesium does in the body because I think it's really important for us to understand that. Really important. It helps with absorption of calcium and potassium. So we absolutely want it as one of our electrolytes, right? And it involved in nerve transmission. So if anybody's got any nerve issues, then magnesium is really crucial. And muscle spasms. I think we all know that if we have muscle cramps or something, magnesium is the answer, right? It prevents calcification of soft tissue. So that's like people who start getting bone spurs or calcification of tissue. Magnesium helps with that. It protects your arterial lining from getting calcified, and we don't want that. You can go in and actually get a calcium test on your arteries to see how you're building up calcium. We don't want to build up calcium, and magnesium helps us not to do that, all right? It helps reduce calcium phosphate kidney stones. So there is a connection between kidney stones and magnesium. Now, some of the signs of deficiency are insomnia and irritability, seizures, muscle cramps, heart arrhythmias, high blood pressure, and I'll talk about that a little bit more, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, of course, kidney stones, and anxiety. Okay, so those are some of the things that can be deficiency symptoms when it comes to magnesium. So the question I get asked a lot is what kind of magnesium should I take? What do I take? Okay, so there's a lot of them out there, right? So let's talk about the different ones. So citrate is up the top here, and you'll see this in a lot of formulas. Sometimes they put it in a mixture of things, sometimes it's straight citrate. The one thing I will tell you, the one you do not want, okay, is carbonate. You don't want calcium carbonate, you don't want magnesium carbonate. Both of those are like chalk. They're really hard for your body to break down. They don't get, they're really bad for kidneys. They get stored in the tissue, so you start to build out actually calcification in the tissue. So we don't want carbonate, okay? So citrate is the one that will loosen your bowels the most. So if you're taking it, start it at 200 milligrams with dinner. If you want to have better bowel movements, then you want to just increase it until you get the results in the morning. Everybody is different. I have a client who needs 800 milligrams of citrate a night. I would never get off the toilet if I did that much. So you're all unique and different. But citrate is really going to be the one that will loosen the bowels up, okay? And then we have chelated malate or glycinate. And sometimes you'll see these together. Sometimes you'll see citrate, malate, and glycinate together, which is fine because the citrate will be a little lower. But glycinate and malate are going to be chelated because they're going to be wrapped in a protein for better absorption. These are great for muscle spasms, tension headaches, tension up in the neck and things like that, in the traps and everything like that if you work at a computer all day. So this is a really good one for that. And again, I like to start at about 200 milligrams. If you don't get relief, you can increase that each day. It takes a while to build up magnesium. So even with the citrate, you might try it one night and you may have to get up to 400 milligrams and the next morning you're like, oh, I got really loose stools. Then just back off like by 100 milligrams. Okay, so it takes a little bit, a couple days to build up. And then there's magnesium threonate. This one is great for ADD, anxiety, panic attacks, anybody who startles easily, the monkey mind that won't shut off when you go to bed, when you're trying to sleep. One of my favorites is made by Jarrow, and it's called Mag Mind. And that one you can take during the day for any of these symptoms you might be experiencing, but you want to take it at like an hour before bed if you have that monkey mind. If you wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep, then try taking some when you get up in the middle of the night if the brain shifts on and starts going. Hopefully you saw our sleep webinar that we did. I talked a lot about this, waking up at 2 or 3 or something like that in the morning. And so this one's a great one for that. Now taurate, as a magnesium taurate, is really specifically for cardiovascular issues. So hardening of the arteries. I've got down here atrial fibrillation, high blood pressure. So magnesium taurate is really good for the cardiovascular system. Now, caution with magnesium, if someone has kidney disease, you want to make sure you're working with your healthcare practitioner, starting really slow, and don't do big doses, and let them know you're using magnesium because of the kidney disease, okay? Because all of this stuff has to go through the kidneys. Now, those people who are at risk, I think higher risk for magnesium deficiency, are type 2 diabetics, even insulin resistant, prediabetes, all of that family, because the insulin will carry magnesium into the cell. And so when the insulin is not being allowed in the cell because there's insulin resistance going on, your magnesium's not coming in either, okay? There are the higher risk for antacid users, people who are taking even the over-counter Tums, but especially those on Prilosec and Nexium and the prescription medications. You break your minerals down in your stomach. That's how the minerals get broken apart in the stomach. So when we're taking those antacids, that's a really poor bioavailability, poor absorption. And so your needs may be higher if you're on an antacid. And then definitely people who are on diuretics, and oftentimes they're on diuretics for high blood pressure, but unfortunately it takes your calcium and your magnesium and your potassium out through the urine, and then you need all of those for cardiovascular disease health. You need all of those to lower blood pressure. So if someone's on the diuretics, they really need to be watching their electrolytes, and magnesium and potassium and calcium all need to be supported, okay? So those are the different types of magnesium, and I just think that it's really important to know what your body is asking for, because there's a lot of magnesiums out there, a lot of formulations, a lot of things are mixed together. So look at this list and say, oh, that's me, I've got muscle spasms, so maybe I should try this glycinate malate combo, or maybe you need it for your bowels, okay? So choose your magnesium well, because you need it. It's awesome. Your body wants it, but you got to make sure you're getting the right kind. Okay, you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.